the different ways of life that you find in different countries and different places, different parts of the world. One, reading. A, discuss. Think of gestures, movements that you do using your hands to express feeling, or customs or behaviors, things that you do that are exist in your society and you have in your society that exist that you do or you have in your country. Do you think that they are the same everywhere around the world? What the customs that you have in Saudi Arabia, in our society in Saudi Arabia? Not all people do this, but many people do this. Most people do this. Eating food using bare hands, not spoons. And this doesn't exist all around the world, but just in simple or many some countries. No, this isn't the same everywhere around the world, okay? Now B, guess the answer to the questions below, then read and check your answers. 1. How do Saudis perfume? Perfume. When you perfume something, you get a nice smell. Their houses and clothes. They burn something. When you burn something, make fire. Or do they light candles? Light candles, okay? I'm Saudi, so I burn bukhur. So I think that. What's two? What's a common way for people in Belgium to greet? Greet. When you greet someone, you meet him or her and say hi, hello, shake hands, and so on. What do they in Belgium greet? Do they kiss 3 times on the cheek, the left cheek and the right cheek, or B, or they shake hands? Well, I don't think they shake hands because this is an international way in around the world, in the whole world. So in Belgium, I think they kiss 3 times on the cheek. What does pulling the skin down under the eye mean in Japan? Pulling the skin down under the eye in Japan. That means something is boring or something is interesting. No, I think something which is boring to attract the attention. Now we are going to read some texts and answer questions. They do it differently. Differently here means in a different way. Okay? But before listening and reading, I'll ask you to listen well to the script and read while you are listening to the script. But here we have six questions which we are going to answer. Question number one. Why did we use Bukhur in Ibrahim's house? Question number two, how did John first react when he saw Bukhur burning? 3. Why did Jack extend his hand? Number 4, how did Jack feel when the man kissed him? Question number 5, why did Peter put the skin down under his eyes? Question number 6, what did Peter do after the misunderstanding? Okay, we have 6 questions. Now, I let you read well while you are listening and try to find the answers for these 6 questions. Now, let's listen. Let's listen and read, okay?
4B. Cultural differences. 1. Reading.
They do it differently. We know it feels normal and right to do in our culture. But other cultures have customs and gestures that are different, and they may seem strange to us. So, it's easy to misunderstand someone from a culture that is different from our own. Here are a few examples.
While I was in Saudi Arabia on a business trip, I was invited to a Saudi friend's house for lunch. It was the first time I had been to a Saudi house, and I was impressed by the spectacular decoration. At lunchtime, my friend, Ibrahim, showed me into the dining room, where I met his 4 sons. The boys were talking cheerfully about their day when a man came in the room, silently carrying a beautiful cup with something burning in it. I was curious about it. I was about to ask Ibrahim to tell me more about it when a wonderful smell interrupted my thoughts. Ibrahim explained that it is a custom in Saudi Arabia to burn bakur, a kind of scented wood, to create a pleasant atmosphere. It is also polite to use bakur when you have guests. John, Boston.
I'm from Wisconsin, and when we meet someone for the first time, we usually shake hands. Well, I had a big surprise in Belgium. When I was introduced to my friend's brother, something occurred which made me feel uncomfortable. I said hi to him, extending my hand, and he came up to me and kissed me on the cheek. Not once, but 3 times, going from one cheek to the other. Of course, I went red and they started laughing at me. In Belgium, it's common to greet someone by kissing 3 times. Jack, Madison.
Last year I was invited to Japan by my friend Daiki. On the second day of my visit, Daiki asked me if I wanted to go to his house for dinner, and of course I said yes. It was really enjoyable, but halfway through the night I got something in my eye. So I tried to remove it with my finger. Daiki's brother saw me and he got really upset. I couldn't understand why though. I asked Daiki why his brother was angry with me, and he told me that in Japan when you pull the skin down under your eye, it shows that you find something boring. Later in the evening, I apologized to Daiki's brother and tried to clear up the misunderstanding, but I'm not sure he believed me. Peter, Miami.
Before answering the questions, there are some words which we will discuss the meanings simply. Number 1, seem strange means unusual. Misunderstanding. Misunderstanding when you fail to understand the correct meaning. You understand something wrong. A business trip. I was there for work, not for a pleasure. Invited. Invited here means when someone asks me to come and visit him. I was impressed. I was really surprised and amazed. Spectacular decoration. Spectacular here means amazing decoration. Everything was arranged. The rooms, the furniture were nice. Dining room. The dining room is a room that people or where people eat or have lunch or dinner there. Cheerfully. Cheerful here means full of joy. I was curious. Curious here means first before curious, silently, without making a voice, without making any voice. Quietly, calmly. Curious. When someone is curious, or when I am curious, means I want to know. I want to have something about anything which I don't know. I want to know about it. I was about to ask means I almost asked. I was ready to ask. Okay, interrupt. When I interrupt someone or something means you make him stop. You make something stop. You make someone stop. My thoughts here, the ideas in my head. Explained. When you explain something, you make it clear to someone else. See knitted wood. See knitted wood here, a definition for the word bukhur. See a definition for the word bukhur, wood here that has a nice smell. Nice smell. Was introduced when I meet someone for the first time. Occurred here means happened. Something happened. Extend my hand. I was trying to reach his hand to shake it. I went red means I was embarrassed. I was uncomfortable. I felt uncomfortable here because something strange or something embarrassing happened to me. Halfway through the night means in the middle of my visit. To remove, to get it away. Upset. He was mad. He was unhappy. Apologized. Apologized here when I say I'm sorry for something. I say I'm sorry, so I apologize for it. Clear up. When I explain, I try to say why. Now let's go to exercise C. Read again and answer the questions. After reading, why did they use bukhur in Ibrahim's house? Well, it's a custom in Saudi Arabia to create a nice atmosphere. Question number 2. How did John first react? When we say react means respond. Respond to. When he saw bukhur burning. The answer is he was curious about it. He wanted to know here. Question number 3. Why did Jack extend his hand? He wanted to shake hands to say hi. Question number 4. How did Jack feel when the man kissed him? He felt uncomfortable. He went red. He was embarrassed. Question number 5. Why did Peter pull the skin down and his eyes? The answer is because he got something in his eyes and he wanted to remove it. Question number 6. What did Peter do after the misunderstanding? He apologized to Dyke's brother and he tried to explain, but the man didn't believe him. Now, exercise D. Choose the right meaning of A or B. Silently. Number 1. Silent means without making a sound, without moving, no, without speaking. He was about to. He was ready to. He was ready to. Ready to. He was almost to do it. Ready to. 3. Occurred. Occurred here means happened. Something happened. Something happened. Number 4. Remove. When you want to remove something, to take it out, to take it away, not cover. Cover to put something, to place something. No, I don't put something I want to take out of my eyes. Clear up means you want to explain, to say why did it happen? What are the causes? What are the causes here you want to explain? Okay? Thank you very much, my dear students. If you have any questions, I'm waiting for you and for your inquiries, questions, any details which you don't know, which you want to know on WhatsApp. Goodbye for now. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.